Hi everyone, I'm Kirstie from the Pet Photographers Club, and I'm joining you today for an expert review. This time around, I'm being the expert because we're doing a website review, which I'm pretty excited about. As you may know, I have built many websites. It's kind of a bit of an addiction of mine, just simple ones through Squarespace. I don't overcomplicate it at all. I've definitely built my own website for Bits of Bernard, my Pilates website, a bunch of other ones, and help some other photographers with theirs as well. And now that I've moved to Italy, I've decided, and I'm not running my photography business here yet, that I would love to help some of you build your own websites. And so I'm taking this time to share some pointers. And then if you want some help, I can always, offer that to you as well. I've got a special offer at the end about that too. But anyway, for now, let's have a look at Judy. I think it's Reinford, Judy Reinford Photographic Artist. We're going to look at her website today, which is just beautiful, by the way. Judy submitted her website for review a couple of months ago, and after looking at some others that were up for review, I decided this would be a really great example to share with you all, so you can all learn some things. So let's go through her beautiful website and have a look. The first thing I wanted to do was obviously land on the welcome page, or the home page. I love that you've called it Welcome, Judy, by the way. So yeah, this is her welcome page. You can see she has a range of images in different styles here. So straight away we get a feel for what Judy does, which is perfect. This is the whole point of a landing page, isn't it? So we can scroll down and see Judy's style and the beautiful images that she's created recently. The only tip I would have for improving this section of the website would be that it would be really nice to put some finished images scattered out through this gallery here. So rather than, I don't know, let's take this one for example, the girl on the pony. Being the photo of the girl on the pony, it would be really nice to see that particular image on the wall as a finished product, because once we go through Judy's website in some more detail, you will see that that is in fact her specialty, creating very beautiful fine art products for her clients. And so it makes complete sense to me to show that first of all as soon as you open the website, so that you know straight away what she offers. So great that you have all of your beautiful images here, but it'll be lovely to see some finished products scattered throughout. As we scroll down, so that's tip number one, adding some finished images, examples. As we scroll down, tip number two is about this beautiful introduction paragraph here. Now, I love the wording that you've chosen here, Judy. I think it's absolutely beautiful, just perfect. It really is. If you take a second to read this first line at least, it says, "I am one of only a handful of photographers in the area that holds a CPP from PPA." And then she's gone on to explain what that is in basic terminology. So she said, "Just like your accountant is a CPA, I'm a certified professional photographer." And it goes on from there. I think it's perfect to bring the client back into reality, because we don't need our client to understand what CPP, PPA, they don't have to, we don't want them to have to Google what that even means, because firstly, they just won't. So to just put it in plain terminology like that is perfect. I love it. And then she goes on to explain a little bit more about what she does. Now, as I've said, it's a beautiful paragraph, and I think it explains her business perfectly. The only thing that I would really love to see here is also maybe like a short video chatting about it as well that could be inserted here underneath, so the text can even stay. But the problem we have at the moment is that our clients and the population as a whole are so used to everything being instant. We don't want to read an entire paragraph, even if it's perfectly worded. So to have a video that pops up where they can listen for 15 seconds of you explaining the same thing, and it shows a bit of your personality coming through in the video, I think that would be really nice. Otherwise, the other option is to just break up the different types of text. So like you have already, at the top you've said Professional Photographers of America's Diamond Photographer of the Year, Certified Professional Photographer, and then it goes on. I think that's great that you've got the different size texts there. But I think this, a little bit of this information in this paragraph is also really relevant. So to somehow highlight it would be great as well. So that would be my tip number 2, either to add a video or to at least resize some of the text in there. As we go down some more, Judy has added in one of, I assume, a frequently asked question that we all get as pet photographers, but my dog can't be off leash. And she's answered it very clear. I mean, you can't miss it. But my dog can't be off leash. That's okay. We can remove it. And the cars from the background. So she's got the example of it removed here and below the original image, which, by the way, beautiful. My only tip here, and perhaps this is a subjective one, is that it would make more sense in my brain if those 2 images were actually side by side, because when I'm looking on my screen, I have to scroll down and I think you lose a little bit of the impact. Whereas if they were side by side, it would be much clearer. So that would be my tip with that. And then the only other tip I have, or not even tip, but point, is that this image is, even though it's great and beautiful and powerful, it's really different to the images that you have up here. And so I wonder if over time you've been changing your style more to be like this, or if you are actually trying to appeal to a range of clients. I'm not quite sure, but to me, I mean, I can see you're obviously got amazing Photoshop skills from this beautiful creative one with the giraffe, for example, and the horse as well, the Santa one, the softball. I mean, all of the images are amazing. But I just wonder if maybe if this is your finished image because it doesn't match these other styles. And if it is, maybe again it needs to be that finished product of the wall art so that it sort of suits your other styles more. We'll get into the wall art part a bit later as well. Anyway, but I love that you've put that question there so that it's answered for people straight away. Now, as we scroll down, we move into tip number 4, which is about your reviews. So absolutely love that you have all of these reviews here, and particularly that you have the dates as well, because I think that really adds credibility. So if you don't have, if you're listening to this for tips for your own website, if you don't have reviews, highly recommend adding them. And adding the date, I think, is genius, Judy, because it says, hey, I didn't pop up yesterday as a photographer. I mean, your potential clients or the people who are inquiring or looking at your website at the moment probably aren't processing all of this information. Like, oh, look, April 2018, she's been around a long time. Like, I don't think there's that they're consciously taking in that information. But I reckon that combined with all of these other things add up, and in the back of their mind maybe eventually it adds to some credibility. So beautiful that you have the dates there, especially since you've been shooting at least since 2018, April 2018 I see here. I'm guessing from your beautiful work much longer. But anyway, great that you have the dates, and the stars make it very clear that they're reviews. My only advice here would be to add a photo for credibility again. So, I mean, here Michelle is talking about her experience and the technique, et cetera, but then at the very end she says, these pictures are priceless, which is fantastic words for her to use, and the artwork will be on my walls the rest of my life. I mean, I would love to see Michelle's image above her review or beside of the finished product. Whether or not you can go to Michelle's house and take the photo, which we can get to when we look at your wall art, I think you can, wall art section. But even if it's just a mock-up of artwork on the wall, or even just the image would be great, so that the reader of this can relate and say, oh, that would be, my dog, et cetera, et cetera. So that would be my only tip for improvement for you, Judy, is to add the image if you can. Other than that, I love it. It looks fantastic. Let's scroll down a little bit further and look at the last section of the homepage, which has the location, hours, contact, and a map. Now, this is fabulous. Time and time again, I open a photographer's website because they're a member of the Pet Photographers Club or something, and I'm having to look at it, and I have no idea where they're based. Now, this is a bit of a problem because that's the first thing people need to know. Are you nearby me? And so having a map makes it visual straight away. I mean, I'm not from your area, but probably if I am, I say, oh, yep, okay, I'm in Youngsville. You're just near Bath. Perfect, super close. And then as well as that, you have the actual address on the left there with the location. Now, the extra thing with that is that also helps with Google as well. And I haven't checked, but I'm going to guess that you're also listed on Google Maps, which also helps with your Google searching as well. Anyway, so I just wanted to point out that that's a fabulous thing to have. And even though probably to you, Judy, it seems, a no-brainer to include your location, lots and lots of photographers do not. And so please, if you take one thing away from this review, if you're somebody else, it's not Judy, check that your location is added to your website and that it's clear and easy to find. So yeah, that's tip number 5. From here, it would be really nice to have a button here that says back to top. Now, probably on your mobile device you do, but it would be great to have mobile view. But in desktop it would be great as well, because now I have to scroll all the way back up, which, people are lazy now, to the top to find what I want. If you don't want to have back to top, maybe it would be nice to have a button that takes you to the next thing you want them to do. Now, you have make an inquiry here, so probably people click on that next. But are people ready to inquire yet after seeing this information on the front page? I think probably not. They haven't seen what wall art you offer because it's not in the images yet. They haven't seen any pricing at all, so they have no idea if you're in their budget. They don't know who you are, if you align with their values, nothing yet. So I don't think they're quite ready at this point to make an inquiry, even though it's great to leave there just in case this is the second or third or fourth or fifth time they're on your website. But I think it would be also great to have another button there like now meet the photographer or whatever step you want them to do next. So let's scroll to the top and look through your menus now. So the next thing I would like to look at is your details page. So if we click on that, I think you've got really useful information on this beautiful page. So you've said what you do in one simple line, beautiful, a one-of-a-kind heirloom that your family will cherish for years to come. Perfect. Love it. Simple, completely able to grasp the concept. Then it says the experience, got this beautiful photo, and then you've got here how the experience works. Now, I think you've got fabulous information here, fabulous content, but as somebody just landing on your website, this is a lot of information to digest. And so I wonder, even though it is actually just 4 or 5 sentences, I wonder if there's a way, again, to make it a bit easier to comprehend. So maybe you could put this into steps instead, like first things first, and then put the consultation design part. Then underneath, as a new thing, you could have the headline, the portrait session, and underneath that line, and then again the review session, and then the line. I think it needs to be broken up into separate steps rather than one big paragraph. Even though you've added the bold and italics text, which is great, I'd really like to see it broken up even more so that people can kind of glance over it and say, oh, yeah, okay, so there's 4 steps involved, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go from there. So that would be my tip for the experience. By the way, your work is incredible. I mean, this is fantastic. And then we scroll down, and then I've gone from the experience to suddenly I'm at money, which is great because that is the next information they need to know. But if I landed on your website and looked at these headlines, I don't see pricing. I'm looking for pricing, and look, this is a controversial viewpoint. By the way, this is moving on to tip number 7 now of pricing. But honestly, when I go to buy any service, I want to know at least a rough estimate of what it's going to cost me. Any service, any product, anything I'm going to buy. And I think you're all the same. Yes, we want people to book us because of our work. But honestly, if you're $10,000 and my budget is $100, we're not a good fit. And okay, if my budget is $5,000 and you're $10,000, maybe there is an option to push me from $5,000 to $10,000 using random figures, because you're already able to spend a lot of money. And so you don't want to scare people away, but you still need to have some kind of ballpark for them to know. And that's something you've done well here, Judy, is that you have actually put, deposit is $825. So people have an idea, okay, I need to spend $825. But when I got to this section, I wasn't expecting to see pricing. So I wonder if there's a way you can either rename this section to be called details and pricing so people can click on it and scroll down until they find what they want, or to put the pricing on a separate page and to instead have a button here after they've read the steps that says find out about pricing. So that will be my next point, is to consider where pricing fits on your page and how you lead your customers to it. Don't get me wrong, I think it's absolutely perfect how you've led the customers through the design consultation, the portrait session, the review. They understand all the steps and then they see the pricing. But I just wasn't expecting to see it here, okay? So let's see if there's maybe another way. Then from pricing, you've led, which makes sense, into fine art products. So that's beautiful. I love that you've put it there, the information, perfect. And then below you have an inquiry form, which is great as well, so that the clients actually can get in touch. I wonder though, and this takes us to the next page, you have this wall art page here. So I wonder if maybe the wall art, the fine art products, and the pricing can all go together. So almost it goes from details, which you have here beautifully, which is actually really what to expect or how it works page, or the experience is almost what I would call this page rather than the details. So I'd go to the experience, and then I would put a button here to say learn more about pricing, or pricing even, something like that. Pricing would then take you to the wall art page, which would be beautiful because, oh my goodness, look what you create for your clients. I mean, I want to hire you. Looks amazing. So now we're at your wall art page. This is a perfect next step because they're sold on the experience. They look at the wall art, they read through, they see all the examples here, which I'd love to see some of these on your front page, as I was explaining earlier. And underneath all of these, you could then go into pricing because you've already hooked them now. You've hooked them with the idea of how it works. They've seen other people's wall art and they want it themselves. Then you go into pricing, and then you could explain a bit more about your fine art products. So that would sort of be how I make it flow a little bit better. And that's my tip number 7 for pricing, and 8 kind of combined with the wall art page. From there, I want to look at your about page. So let's, I've skipped back and forth a little bit here. But anyway, let's go to your about page. And here you've segmented between about yourself as the photographer and about the studio. But when I click on the studio, it just has one little line and a little dot here. So I wonder if you really need to have it segmented, or if you can keep all the information on one page. So when you have it about, it could just go straight to this beautiful page of About Judy. And at the top, you could have the one line about the studio, and then you go into My Wild Side. By the way, I'm super excited that you have this amazing portrait of yourself here. Straight away, I want to work with you. I want to work with this character who looks fun and inviting and loving. You have this little bit of a bio about yourself so that once people are excited from the photo of seeing, oh, she looks like such a lovely person to work with, they read a bit more about you. Perfect. Love it. Then you have the grateful side, and again, it shows the 2 personalities that you're still professional, etc., which, to be honest, you're really looking in the top one as well. So this is great too. And then my family side. So then you have your photo here, which is beautiful as well. And then a little bit more information down the bottom. So I think this is a beautiful page. Like I said, the only thing I would change is I add at the top that line about the studio, and I would just have the about page, this one page, rather than split into 2. Again, the only other thing you could add is a little bit of an intro video or a studio tour, which would be nice on this page, just in case people don't want to read, but I'd put it at the bottom because you've got the photos, which is what people are probably looking at and not reading, and at the bottom maybe a little video that they can watch if they want. So that is tip number 9. Oh, one more thing as part of tip number 9 is those photos there, especially that top one, I think would be great in your footer. So down here you could have like a little photo of yourself and just 1 or 2 lines, so that on every single page people are seeing your face and they're building trust with this friendly looking face. That's another thing that you could do. Just a last little add on there. And then tip number 10, I'll just scroll back up and maybe go to your gallery page, is to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. Now, I've checked yours and it definitely is. It looks fabulous on mobile. It loads super quickly, so your images are obviously resized appropriately, which is loading quickly on the web page as well. The text centers really well on mobile. In fact, it looks like to me you've built the website to look the best on mobile, because I actually preferred your site on the mobile, which is great because most people are looking on a mobile. I'm not exactly sure, but I know from my own buying experience that if I'm going to drop, thousands of dollars on a photographer, for example, I will look at them online first. Probably I found them on Instagram or Facebook or a referral of a friend. I look at them on my phone, but then I say, I need to go home and look at it on a screen. I don't know if everybody does that, but I would build my website anticipating that that's the case, because that way you have the website looking fabulous on any device, okay? Now on Squarespace, you can in fact click a little button in the top right that shows you your website in the different views, so you can check it as you're building it, which is fabulous. So that's the only other tip I have. It's actually not for you, Judy, sorry. It's just a tip in general to make sure it looks great on mobile, and you've already done that perfectly, which is great. If anything, Judy, I would amend just a little bit of those paragraphs, like we said, to make it look better on web, as good as it looks on mobile. And that's it. That's my 10 tips for your website, Judy, and for everybody else in the process of maybe changing their website, given that lots of people aren't able to work, as photographers at the moment. Maybe you're working on your business. And so hopefully this helped you. If you need a bit more help or you want somebody to build it for you, please get in touch. I would love to help you out. I build all my websites with Squarespace because that means that they're easily adjustable. And nowadays they rank just as high. Well, from my own experience, I haven't actually checked the stats, but, I was first page. In fact, I was number 1 on Google for Adelaide Pet Photographer. And even though other pet photographers in Adelaide were using WordPress, etc., I was still number 1. So I don't think it's accurate anymore that, it affects SEO by using something like Squarespace. If you're an SEO expert, I'm not, and I'm wrong, please let me know. But honestly, I found I did all the other things that were right. I alt tagged my images, which if you haven't, make sure you do. I was listed on Google. I had Google reviews, all of these things that Google likes, pushes you up and up. So I didn't worry that in the beginning when I built my website on Squarespace, that did hinder my ability to go up on Google, apparently. I was told, but in the end it didn't, because I was first anyway from doing all the other good things. So yes, I build all my websites on Squarespace, and I would love to help you build yours on Squarespace. It's $990 for me to build it with all the basics, and it'll be built in a way that it flows really nicely so that your clients or your inquiries land on it and could even book from the website without calling you, because they get all the information that they need rather than just being a space to land and see pretty photos. I do have a special offer because I'm just starting this, so you can save $150. So you'll be paying $840. All you have to do is book your free chat about it, which is obligation free, by next week, Friday the 18th of September. So to do that, just jump on the Pet Photographer's website and I'll just go to the top. This is our website for the Pet Photographers Club. Click on the store, and then you can click on website design, or you can just click on the store, either way. And then scroll down if you didn't click on website design, and you'll see here, website design for pet photographers. This has got all the information you need to know, and then you can book a free chat. You'll see all of my times are available there. If there's nothing, please just get in contact through email, and we can work at another time. But yeah, once you've booked your free chat, as long as it's booked in before next Friday, then you'll save that $150. And if we have a chat and we work out that we're not a good fit, that's totally fine too. Anyway, I'd love to work with some of you on your websites and get more bookings for you once you're able to shoot again if you're currently not. Great. Good luck if you are working on your own website at the moment, and I look forward to seeing them. Judy, if you make any changes based on this, please share them in the group. Otherwise, that's it for now, and we'll see you in the group. Thanks. Bye.